For my version using the embroidery module, I'm going to be using the new Bernina Toolbox software, which is compatible with all embroidery machines and is so easy to use. You can get a free trial of this from the free trial of the program from the Bernina website, and this software is really great if you want to personalise gifts. Another good thing about it is it can be run on a PC or a Mac or a tablet or an iPad, so it's really versatile. The Toolbox software comes in 3 modules, so you can buy the modules separately or you can buy them all together as a bundle. So let's have a look at the 3 modules quickly. So the 3 modules are made up of editing. So with the editing module, that allows you to play around with designs. You can break an existing design apart and make a new design from it. Then we have the lettering modules. Now they come in 2 levels. So you could either go for lettering basic, which has 20 lovely fonts which you can use, or lettering advanced, which has 100 fonts, so a great choice there. So they're 2 separate packages. Or you could buy the monogramming software. Now the monogramming software is really brilliant. It's got lots of different monogramming styles and frames that you can use, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So if you buy one of these modules or the whole bundle, depending on which module you buy, you get a different number of designs. If you went for the whole bundle, you get 600 designs, and the designs are really nice. They're really fun. You know, you could play around with them, combine them, break them apart, use different bits of them. I really like the designs they've incorporated into this program. They look really good. So most of the designs are kept on the Bernina cloud, so you just need to log into your account and go into the Bernina cloud, and then you can download the designs when you want to use them. Okay, so the next stage is we're going to open up the software and we're going to start to create our monogram for our bathrobe. Great, so when you open up the Toolbox software, you get the quick start guide. Now this quick start guide is brilliant. It's really easy to follow. You can just click through and it tells you how to log in. So if you've downloaded and you've got the free trial, it shows you how to log in for that, or if you've bought a bundle, you can activate it. It then goes through and it shows you all the basics, how to download from the cloud, how to use all the different modules and all the different functions, and it gives you all the information you need. So it's really useful, and I definitely recommend having a quick look at that. So we can click out of there. Okay, so we're going to create our monogram, which we're going to embroider onto our bathrobe. So this monogram we're going to design for our sweetheart, whoever they may be. I'm making mine for my husband. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to open up a new file. I'm just going to call it Mono 3 and click on OK. And this will open up a new design for me, new design screen. So as you can see, when it opens up, it's a nice clear screen, really basic, with nice clear, easily identifiable icons. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into View, and we're just going to go in and tell it what hoop we're going to use. So I can go into Choose Hoop. Now I'm going to be using a Bernina, but I'm going to be using a Bernina 5 series. And I'm going to be using the medium hoops, and I'm also going to be using foot 26, so I'm just going to select that. Then I can go in, and if I want to see that, I can click to have that on the screen, or I don't think I need that at the moment while I'm designing, so I can toggle that off and just have the grid, and then I can close all that down, so we've got a clear area. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my monogramming module, which is this area here where it says ABC. So I'm going to click on there, and it gives me all my options. Now with monogramming, you can either have 1, 2 or 3 letters. I'm going to choose 2 letters. So you select the number of letters here where you select the fonts. So for instance, I could have Armed Forces is the name of the font, and I could have 2 letters. Click there. And now 2 letters have appeared. Now my husband's initials do happen to be AB, so I don't need to change those. I can go in and change the height, so I'm going to go for 1.7 inches. So I'm going to make it slightly bigger. And then it's just a case of scrolling through the fonts and seeing which ones you like the look of. So I can go down, and there's loads of lovely different designs. So there's something like, we can have more of a script, or there's some block examples, loads and loads of different things. We've got some more traditional, black letter English. We can see here. We've got some very fancy fonts. So something like, we've got Botanics, that's a really nice one, or something like Bubble Circle. If I can just get that one to come up. With Bubble Circle, I think that would work better if we just had one initial. So you really do have to just go through and play with all the different fonts. I like these ones where they're in shape. So this is a diamond 2 letter. Let me show that. I'll just increase that on the screen so we can see it. Just make it a little bit bigger. But I think the one I'm going to choose is called Seal. Oh, actually, I just want to show you this one because this is a really fancy one. It's just taking a moment to load up. Look at that. I think that looks a bit Harry Potter. I do like the little background swirls. I think that's a really nice one. But as I say, I'm going to use the one called Seal. So we're just going to go down and find it. Here we go. Seal 2 letters. So there we go, we've got Seal 2 letters. So once I've entered in the letters I'm going to use, then I can choose a decoration. Now there's loads of really lovely frames. Some are really, really fancy, something like that, very fancy. I think that's a bit too fancy for what I want. And because we are doing it for Valentine's Day, there are some Valentine options available. Let's have a look. I think there's a heart you can choose, and scroll through and find that. Oh, here we've got a wreath of hearts. Now I do like this, I think it's pretty, but because it's a running stitch and we're going to be doing it on a toweling, I think it might get a bit lost in what we're doing. So I don't think we'll choose that one. Or we've got this one, which is a nice one. So this is like a row of beads in a heart shape, very romantic. And there also is this design here, which is just a solid heart. So if you want to have a really romantic theme for your bathrobe, you could go down that route. But I'm going to choose a more basic diamond frame. So I'm just going to scroll down. There's so many choices, you could spend all day doing this. But let me see if I can find the one I like the look of. It was okay, maybe it's back at the top. It was just a basic diamond shape. Here we go. So this is the one I decided I was going to choose. So I think that's a nice, smart, simple monogram, which would look really good on a bathrobe. Okay, so I've got my frame. Now this design is it's got 3 colours in it, but actually I only want to use 2 colours. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into my zoom, and I'm just going to have it actual size so I can see what size how it's going to actually stitch out. So this is 1:1, so this is the real size. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the colours on this design, because this design has 3 colours. I want to take it down to 2, and I'm not so keen on the blue, so I'm just going to have a play around with the colours. So I can go into my palette, and the first colour I've got is like a burgundy colour, but I want to change that to black. So I click on my palette and I search for black, and here I've got Isocord black, so I'm going to click on that. So now my first colour is black. Now the next colour I've got is blue, but I would like to change that to gold. We love gold here at Bernina, as we're celebrating our 125th year, and everything is going to be gold this year. I thought I'd incorporate that into my design. So I'm going to search for some more gold, and we'll go for Liberty Gold. Double click on that, and that's changed that. And then finally, this last colour, I want to change that to black as well. So here I could type the colour in, so I can just type 0020, and I've got black again, and there we are, and it's combined it, so all my blacks are now first. Oh, it's gone to smoke, I don't want that. Set that back to black. Great, and then we can come out of that and finish there. I just want to go back into my monogramming just to show you something. Now, if you're not sure how your letters are going to look when you choose a font, one thing you can do is you can click here and it shows you the whole alphabet all listed, so you can see exactly how each letter's formed and how they would look like combined. So that's really useful. And also it tells you up here what the recommended minimum and maximum height is for that letter. So this is so if the smallest you could go would be 1.5 inches and the largest you could go would be 4.1 inches. So we're well within those parameters, so we know it will stitch out nicely. And I can just close that down. So once I've got my design and I'm happy with it, I'm just going to select it all and I'm just going to center it so it's the center of my design. I could go in and just show my hoop, just make sure it's going to fit in the hoop, so that fits in perfectly. And then I'm all ready to send it to my machine. Now I want to send it to my machine, so I need to save it onto my USB key, but I also need to do a printout of it. So what I can do is I can go down here to print, and I'm going to print that out on my other machine, and I'll get my print preview. Is it going to show me? No, it's not going to show me on this computer, but I'm going to print that out because I'm going to use that as my template to get the positioning right on my dressing gown. But I want to now export it to my USB key, so I would go down here to export. And I just need to make sure up here that I've got my USB key listed, so this is called Store and Go up here. And then I want to save it as the Bernina EXP file. But if we look at this drop down list, there's loads of different formats I could save it as if I had a different make of machine. But for today, obviously I'm going to use my Bernina, my new Bernina 5 series machine, so I'm going to save it as an EXP file. So then I just click on save. And now I'm ready to go to the next stage, which is going to be to stitch my design out. I mentioned earlier that if you download the free trial or if you buy the software, it has loads of lovely built-in designs. And as we're doing a Valentine's webinar, I thought I'd download some of the more romantic images that they have in the software. So as you can see, some of them are really fun, some of them are really cute. If you didn't want to do a monogramming project, you could always just embroider one of these designs on a project, or you could combine these with lettering if you were doing a bathrobe for a child or some towels or something like that. So it's definitely worth downloading the free trial so you can check out some of the great designs that are included.